Well, you're not as good as Magic Johnson, you're not as good as Larry Bird, you're good, but you're not as good as those guys. I had to listen to all this, and that put so much wood on that fire that it kept me each and every day trying to get better as a basketball player.
But it was an incredible playoff performance. I've never seen it before, and I had never seen it after. That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan did not hand out respect easily, and that is why the moment he put Larry Bird in a category of his own hit so hard. Because Jordan was not the type of player who praised somebody just to sound humble. This is the same Michael Jordan who took comparisons personally, who turned small comments into lifelong fuel, who heard one person say another player might be close to him and treated it like a personal insult. So when Jordan looked at Larry Bird and basically made it clear that Larry was far better than any small forward who ever played the game, that was not just praise. That was a powerful message from one killer to another.
First play of the game, he says, "I don't know where they got you guarding me, Holmes," and he shoots a three. I was pissed. I said, I wasn't mad he hit the three, but did this some bitch just called me Holmes?
Here's the part nobody is talking about. Jordan understood Bird in a way casual fans never fully did. A lot of people look at Larry Bird and only see the slow white guy from French Lick who could shoot. But the legends who actually had to stand across from him tell a completely different story. Magic Johnson said Bird helped save the league. Charles Barkley called him one of the baddest trash talkers ever. Dominique Wilkins still remembers Bird calling him Holmes and telling him he did not belong in the league. Reggie Miller learned real fast that trash talk was not just noise when Larry Bird was the one doing it. And Jordan, the fiercest competitor of them all, respected Bird because he knew Bird's game was built on something deeper than athleticism. Bird did not just beat people with jumpers. He beat them with timing, brain power, toughness, and disrespect so sharp it could make a grown man second-guess himself before the ball even got checked in. He would tell you where he was going, tell you what shot he was about to take, tell you it was going to be your Christmas present, and then he would hit it right in your face. That is what made him different. A lot of players talk trash after they score. Bird talked trash before he scored, then made you live with the fact that you still could not stop it. This is where it gets dangerous. Because when Jordan praised Bird, he was not just praising stats, he was praising mentality. Jordan knew what it meant to weaponize the mind. He knew what it meant to turn pressure into power. He knew what it meant to make opponents feel beaten before the final buzzer. That is why Bird's game hit Jordan differently. Larry was not flying above people like Jordan. He wasn't smiling through Showtime like Magic. He wasn't overpowering people like Barkley. He was controlling them. And control is one of the rarest forms of greatness.
Feel what I'm saying?
Bird talk shit like we talk.
Let me tell y'all something. Bird used to tell me, look here, man. I'm gonna go shoot this motherfucking jumper in your face right there in that corner. And it's gonna be your Christmas present. I'm gonna wrap it up and bust your head open. All that shit. He was the coldest dude I ever seen with that shit, man.
Magic Johnson saw it early. He talked about seeing Bird and calling people like, it's true about this boy. This dude can play. And that rivalry changed the NBA. Before Bird and Magic, the league was not what it became. Ratings were struggling. The NBA needed something bigger than basketball. Then here came Lakers versus Celtics, Hollywood versus Boston, Magic's smile versus Larry's cold stare. And somehow, those two pushed each other into basketball immortality. Magic himself has said it was a blessing that Bird ended up in Boston because his personality fit that city and the rivalry worked for the whole league. But at first, Bird did not want to be Magic's friend. Magic smiled all the time, but Bird saw through it. He knew Magic could smile at you while trying to cut your heart out, and Bird had the same kind of edge, just colder. Magic wanted friendship eventually, but Bird wanted the edge. He wanted that line between respect and rivalry to stay sharp. That is why their battles felt so real. They weren't just playing for wins. They were fighting for control of the sport.
Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers in basketball. And a lot of people say, really? They thought it was Reggie or Charles. Larry Bird talked more trash on the basketball court than anybody I've ever played against.
Here's the part nobody is talking about. Larry Bird's trash talk was not random. It was strategy. Charles Barkley tells that famous story from the three-point contest where Bird walked into the locker room, looked around at the field, and asked which one of them was coming in second. No yelling, no hype, just pure disrespect. And the wildest part is, nobody really had a comeback because deep down, they knew he might be right. Then Bird went out there, kept his warm-up jacket on, hit the money ball, and put his finger in the air before the shot even dropped. That is not confidence. That is psychological warfare. Dominique Wilkins got a taste of it too. Rookie year, first real matchup, and Bird is already telling him he does not belong. Dominique was one of the most explosive athletes the league had ever seen, but Bird did not care. He looked at him like another victim. First possession, Bird hits the shot and lets him hear about it. That kind of thing sticks with you, not because of the points, but because of the nerve. Bird had the nerve to tell elite players exactly what was coming, then embarrass them anyway. This is where young players usually make a mistake. They think trash talk is about being loud. It is not. Real trash talk only works if your game backs it up. Larry Bird could talk like that because he had the skill, the memory, the footwork, the shooting, the passing, and the toughness to deliver. If you talk and miss, you look foolish. Bird talked and hit. That is why everyone remembers it. That is why his words became part of his legend. And that is why Jordan's respect mattered so much. Jordan did not respect empty noise. He respected killers. He respected players who could make him uncomfortable. He respected players who taught him something about the mental side of the game. Jordan later admitted that Bird taught him about mental warfare. Bird would tell you the shot, the spot, and then hit it anyway. For Jordan, that was not just entertainment. That was a lesson. That was survival. That was part of the competitive education that helped turn Michael into the monster he became. Think about that for a second. Michael Jordan, the most feared competitor in basketball history, learned something from Larry Bird's mind games. That should tell you everything. Bird may not have had Jordan's athletic gifts, but he had a level of mental control that even Jordan recognized. And when Jordan gave Bird that message, when he defended Bird's greatness and refused to let people reduce him, it was almost like one warrior saluting another. Larry didn't need the speech, but coming from Jordan, it had to hit different. Here's the part nobody is talking about. Bird's greatness becomes even scarier when you remember he was doing a lot of this while physically breaking down. By the late 80s, his back was already a problem. Teammates talked about him lying on the sideline with heat packs, barely able to move, then getting up and putting together a triple-double like pain was just part of the job. He once said if he was walking, he was playing. That is an old-school line, but with Bird, it was real. He was not just tough for the cameras, he lived that way. That toughness is why players like Karl Malone said Larry was not quicker than you, he was tougher. And that is the perfect summary of Bird. He was not winning the race, he was not jumping higher, he was not beating you with a 40-inch vertical. He was beating you because he understood the game faster, wanted the moment more, and had no fear of humiliating you while doing it. That is why so many legends still talk about him like he was a problem they never fully solved. Pat Riley might have given the coldest compliment of all, when he said if he needed a shot to save a game, he would pick Jordan. But if he needed a shot to save his life, he would take Larry Bird. That is insane praise, especially from someone who battled Bird with the Lakers and also saw Jordan at his peak. But Riley understood the same thing Jordan did. Bird had that strange calm in the biggest moments, like the pressure was not pressing him, it was feeding him. And then you have the 60-point game against Atlanta, which might be the perfect Larry Bird story. Bird reportedly came into shoot-around saying he felt like 60 that night. Then he went out and basically called his shots like a pool shark. Left wing, off glass, corner three, whatever he wanted. The Hawks bench was literally falling over celebrating an opponent because what they were watching was too ridiculous not to react to. That is how you know a player has crossed into myth. Even the other team cannot help but laugh because the skill has become unbelievable. This is where it gets dangerous for modern debates, because people love to reduce Larry Bird to old highlights and three-point shooting. But the players who actually faced him describe something else. They describe fear. They describe embarrassment. They describe being talked to like children and then being punished exactly how he said they would be punished. They describe a player who could control a room before a game even started. That does not show up fully in box scores. Jordan understood that. Magic understood that. Barkley understood that. Dominique understood that. Reggie understood that. Riley understood that. Parrish and Grant understood that. When that many legends all tell similar stories, maybe fans should stop acting like Bird was just some great shooter from an old era. He was a basketball assassin, and Jordan's message made that clear. Here's the part nobody is talking about. Larry Bird's legacy challenges the way people talk about greatness today. Today, fans obsess over athletic tools: speed, vertical leap, highlight dunks, shoe deals, social media clips, and advanced stats. Bird was almost the opposite of that modern package. He didn't look like the most dangerous guy on the court,
But once the game started, he bent everything toward himself. His brain was faster, his hands were sharper, his confidence was meaner, his mouth was crueler, and his shot was always waiting like a knife. That is why Jordan's respect left such a powerful impression. Jordan knew greatness when he saw it because he was greatness. He didn't need to protect Bird's legacy, he chose to. And that is the part that feels almost speechless from Bird's side. Because what do you even say when Michael Jordan, the ultimate competitor, basically tells the basketball world to stop disrespecting your name? You don't need to argue, you just let the respect sit there. And honestly, Bird earned that. He earned it in Boston, he earned it against Magic, he earned it by saving the league alongside the Lakers-Celtics rivalry. He earned it by walking into three-point contests like he already owned the trophy. He earned it by telling defenders exactly how he was going to embarrass them. He earned it by playing through pain and still producing. He earned it by being the kind of rival Jordan could not ignore. This is where young fans usually make a mistake. They treat old legends like their greatness expired because the game changed. But true greatness travels. Bird's shooting would translate, his passing would translate, his IQ would translate, his toughness would translate. And in today's spacing, with more threes, less physical contact on the perimeter, and more room to operate, Bird might be even more dangerous. That is why so many players keep defending him. They know his game was not built on error tricks. It was built on skill and mind. So when people argue about Michael, LeBron, Magic, Kobe, or whoever else, Larry Bird's name should never be treated like an afterthought. Because if the question is mental mastery, clutch shot making, trash talk, toughness, and making opponents feel small, Bird is in that conversation with anybody. And Jordan's message was basically a reminder that Larry was not just great for his time. Larry was one of those players who forces every era to respect him. That's the bigger legacy angle. Jordan's praise did not make Bird great. Bird was already great, but Jordan's praise protected the truth from lazy debates. It reminded people that legends are not only measured by how they look on the court, they are measured by how other legends talk about them when the cameras are rolling and when the old scars come back. And every scar from Bird's rivals sounds the same. He talked, he predicted, he hit the shot, and you could not do anything about it. So now the debate goes back to the fans. Does stat sheet dominance beat mental mastery? Does athleticism beat basketball IQ? Does longevity beat the ability to steal another man's confidence with one sentence and one jumper? Because Larry Bird did something rare. He made legends laugh years later while still sounding traumatized. He made Jordan respect him. He made Magic better. He made Barkley quiet. He made Dominique remember one word forever. And he made the NBA feel bigger. Michael Jordan's powerful message about Larry Bird was not just a compliment. It was a warning to anyone trying to rewrite history. Do not let the slow feet fool you. Do not let the old footage fool you. Do not let the modern debate erase what the players already know. Larry Bird was a killer, a genius, a trash talker, a champion, and one of the coldest competitors basketball has ever seen. And when Michael Jordan says a player belongs on that level, the argument should probably stop right there.